Hi, we're Joel and Lia.
And yesterday we arrived in Philadelphia and it was probably the worst experience we've ever had at arrivals.
This
in any
is
place.
awful. Yeah, so as you can tell from the title, we got detained, we got taken away to second. I don't even know if detained is the word, but I like to think it is.
Let's just say detained, but it's not detained, is it?
Well, they took our passports away and they took us into a separate room and then they separated us and basically questioned us and unpacked our bags one by one. So in my mind, that says detained.
Yeah, now that screams detained.
Now that screams detained to me.
It was just the worst experience. Even though we're totally innocent, we're not doing anything wrong. I was so nervous. My palms were sweating. I felt like my clothes sweating through my clothes. And then I turned to Joel and I was like, our stories need to be the same. And he was like,
we need to get our story straight. I was like, but we're telling the truth.
You're like, our story is the truth. And I was like, the reason I had said that, we'll just scroll back in time a little bit, is because when we got to the bit where they check your passport and before they stamp you and let you into the country, there was a few times that they asked questions and John and I spoke over each other.
So should we start from the beginning? Because we rushed forward.
Yeah, let's start from the very beginning.
So we arrived and it's all fine and we get to the security where they stamp your passport.
Yeah.
And we decide for the first time ever that we'll go up together because they say by household.
Yeah, and the reason we did that is because on the plane we filled in a customs form and I was like, so I need to fill one in? She was like, one per household, and I was like, we can be one household. So that already, we've already like not been truthful, we're not a household. But I was like, we're in a group together, like we can just be, you know what I mean, we don't live together, we're not family, but one household, fine. And that was the mistake we made.
Yeah.
Then when we got to the guy, we were talking over each other.
So he was like, what, are you here for pleasure or for business? And I went pleasure. Leah said fun. And he was like, what? And then the next question after we clarified that, he was like, have you been to the US like recently? And we both said yes. And then he said when? And we was like November. And he was like, for how long? And then I said 4 weeks. Leah said 2 weeks. And he was like, can you stop talking at the same time, please? And we were like, and then it was like, so which is it? And I was like, well, yeah, 2 weeks, because we'd spent some time in Canada. So Leah's right, it was 2 weeks. And I think all these things probably set off alarm bells.
And then he's like, what are you two, boyfriend and girlfriend? And we were like, just friends. And then
a job, probably YouTuber.
What job do you do? We're like YouTubers. Just none of it was, they didn't like any of it. So they were like, and then he's like typing away on his computer. Did you see what he was typing at all?
No, and he like wrote on our things like PPC or something. Yeah. And I was like, what does that mean? Yeah,
he wrote on our PPC everything. And then he went, okay, follow me. And then we just followed him and he took our passports and gave them to someone.
And it was a room that said secondary questioning or something
like that.
And yeah, it was just a room full of a few people, all non-white, so they're definitely racially profiling people.
There was not one white person in the room apart from us, and we were just like, this is really awful that everyone in here has been what looks like racially profiled. It was it was just really shocking. But I literally turned to Joel and went, the demographic in this room is embarrassing.
Isn't it awful?
What the hell, America?
Yeah. But do you know what? We had this for the first time when we left Canada to go to Nashville, and that time we were both scared and like, oh my gosh, what's this? It was the first time it happened. But we went up and they just like asked us a couple of questions like, how long are you here for? Like, they repeated the same questions and I was like, yeah, fine. And so I was like, it's just going to be the same again. Like, it sounds scary, secondary questioning, but it's just going to be the same. But it was not.
We waited a really long time. We just sat in the room and like, there was obviously, they had to go through all the other people before they got to us, and it had taken a while. And then someone who'd come in after us then got seen before us, and I was like,
and they didn't seem to be checking their bags, because they would sit down, go up, get asked questions and leave. And then he was like, you come with me, you go sit over there, to Leah. He told Leah, he was like, go and sit by the door, which was so weird. I think it's so that you couldn't hear what I was saying, to like separate us, because then he took me and all my luggage to this room with a big table, and I had to put it on there, take my coat off, and like, he was like, well, going through everything.
And then he asked us, because we've now spoken about what he asked you and what he asked me, same questions, like, is there anything in this case that could like hurt me or be sharp? And then he opened
I nearly made a joke then. When he said that, I was nearly gonna go, well, my tweezers, and then I was like, don't make jokes. So I was like, no. But it's funny because I said to Leah had the same experience where they're like opening it really tentatively as if there's gonna be like a bomb in it or something. I was like, what are you hoping to find? Or
what were they hoping to find? And like, my family texted me saying like, what, did you ever ask them what was the reason you got pulled aside? And I said, no, I didn't ask at all. Like, you don't go up and be like, and what was the reason, please, for pulling us innocent Brits aside?
So weird. And he was asking questions like, so what are you here for? And I was like, oh, I'm vlogging, like this bit of work, bit of pleasure, like just filming. He's like, are you filming people? And I was like, well, no, just ourselves, just being tourists. And then he was like, and what do you do for work? And I was like, I've just told you, vlogging. And he was like, okay, how much money do you earn a month? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, you don't know how much money you earn a month? And I was like, well, no, because it varies month on month. And I was like, I told him some figures, and he was like, and how much have you got in your bank account? And I was like, I don't know, my accountant deals with all that. Sorry.
Speak to my accountant.
Speak to my accountant.
Literally, like, go on YouTube, hun, and Google us. Like, you'll find we've got nothing to hide. Our whole lives are on the internet. You can Google our names. What's the other funny stuff?
He was like, we've not packed many clothes. And I was like, what do you expect me to say? Like, what do I say? So I said to him, I was like, well, we're here 6 days, so it's not a long time, is it? But like, in my head, I was like, what do you want me to say? Sorry, I wear the same clothes over and over again.
I thought you were going to say to them, like, don't worry, Leah's going to do washing at the Airbnb, because I normally do our washing.
That's true, you do. I did say to him, I was like, well, normally I buy lots of clothes here. And then I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to tell me off for buying loads of clothes.
I was just,
I don't know.
I was just like, what is this all about?
Weird.
And then he was like, what are you doing here then? I was like, we're just having fun. We're also filming a little bit. What do you do for work? Da da da. I was like, oh, we have got a radio interview on Thursday. He's like, what radio station? I was like, the Preston and Steve show in Philadelphia. And he was like, yeah. He was just like, okay. Are they paying you for that? I was like, no, it's like a, you know, just promo. And yeah, he was like, you're not getting paid. You've come here to do that show and you're not getting paid. I was like, oh, it's so sticky and horrible.
So weird.
And then he was just going through my stuff, and I was like, when I was touching, he was like, that's okay, like, you're not touching the bit. Because I was pointing, I was like, that's my makeup bag, these are my straighteners, that's my merch.
Oh my god.
Because it was like our own brand of stuff in the bag.
You just said that's my
I was like, that's my merch. Yeah, because it literally says Joel and Lia on it. I was like, that's my merch. That's
so funny. That is more proof that we're just innocent Brits. But do you know what? I really think the way they were behaving was so cocky that I really think they thought they caught 2 drug smugglers or like something. And I could just sense, or I like to think I could smell the disappointment when they were like, okay, you're free to go. Because I think they thought they'd caught like
big fish, yeah.
And I'm like, hun, you've not caught. Like I said on Instagram that I was like, all they saw was my Harry Potter socks, my embroidered slippers, some protein cookies, like the weirdest stuff. And they're probably like, no drug dealer would have embroidered slippers. Sorry.
Embroidered. These are my embroidered slippers.
These are my embroidered slippers.
That's my oat milk. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Yeah.
What was the response online? Did you say, I haven't said anything on Insta?
Yeah, loads of people were just like, I'm so sorry. Like Americans apologising, like, I'm so sorry, our border control is so horrible, it makes me ashamed to be American. I'm like, no need to be ashamed to be American, but American border control do need to like loosen up. It's like,
they are very scary. Even when in the past where we've gone through border control and not been questioned, just the initial questions from the guy that does the stamps, the pressure's on, you're like,
and it shouldn't be like that, because if you're innocent, why should you be made to feel scared?
Because I just sat down with you, didn't I? And I said, Joel, if we said we were a couple, that we were, and what's our day job? We're accountants and we're here touristing, we would have just gone straight through. But we were YouTubers, not just friends, and we couldn't give a clear answer on how long we were here the last time and stuff like that. So yeah, they just thought something's not right here.
And we wasted their time. They wasted our time.
Yeah.
What a waste.
And the other thing is that we were too scared to ever say that we're here working, because obviously we don't make money from the US. We just make money on YouTube, which is like Google Island that pay us. So we're so scared to always say at border control, like, yeah, this is here, like, we're here working, because we don't have a working visa. We're just here vlogging, and as a result of that, we do make money from our videos.
Which I think now it's been made clear that we're allowed to be working in the US without a visa, because we're not working in the US. We're not working for a US company. We're not being taxed in the US. We're working in the UK, get taxed in the UK, but we're coming here like to work in the same way that a businessman can come from the UK to the US for a business meeting. You know, that's fine. He doesn't need a visa to do that. Yeah. So I think it's okay for us to say it's work, but we're just scared to say it's work, just in case it's like not allowed. But we know it. Well, we've been told that it is allowed. We're allowed to be here.
And Joel, you made a good point that the way we say YouTubers, it's like they might not hear it in that accent. So
every time we've said YouTuber, and anytime I've said it when I'm solo as well, they're like, what? And I tend to think, oh, they don't know what a YouTuber is. But actually, we've realized it's because Americans say YouTuber. So actually, maybe we should start saying YouTuber. But then a viewer, Dana, said we should say
video
travel blogger.
Yeah, travel blogger is good. Yeah. Because then you get the blog and the travel all in one, rather than YouTuber, which is so vague.
Yeah.
I'm a travel blogger.
We're travel bloggers.
And then that'll be
That should sort it out.
That should sort it.
Because this can't keep happening. What a delay it was.
Oh, it was a real delay. Because when we landed, we were like, oh gosh, we've landed early. This is perfect. We've got so much time.
Really quiet.
Yeah, super quiet airport. And we were having panic because obviously the whole time we sat in the room, the bags from Bag Collect were just going round, and I kept looking out the window, and the guy was like, where are your bags? And we were like, they're out there.
I've just realised, so yeah, he said they're out there, and he was like, you can go and get them. And I was like, that's really kind. Because obviously they weren't afraid of us running away because they've got our passports. And I was like, he's done that to be kind. He did that so that they could look through them.
Yeah, because
I've only just got
he probably saw us looking at the bags, thinking like, what have they got in the bags that's so important?
Yeah,
and then he started, we were looking at them. We're looking at them, so we like,
we don't want
camera
anyone to
stuff,
steal
equipment, just clothes, just everything we needed for the trip. So he probably thought, great, there's something in the bags. They're gonna go get them, and then we're just gonna search them.
But also, don't they know what's in the bags? Because like, my impression is when you arrive at the airport and they go through a scanner to check whether they've got a bomb in them before it gets on the plane. Do you know what I mean? Like they've already.
Bags,
Of course they do. Because you could turn up to the airport with a bomb in your bag and then it just goes on the plane. They must scan them.
Do you reckon?
Of course. Otherwise there'd be loads of incidents.
I just thought like they don't scan them.
They definitely scan your bags before they go on the plane.
Wow.
What's the point in scanning your hand luggage and then not scanning your bags? So I'm pretty sure they do get scanned. I'm 99% sure they scan your bags.
So they scan the bags but not in front of you.
My bag's been searched. I arrive in my destination, open your suitcase, and there's a note in it saying your bag's been searched. Okay. So they obviously do like.
Was that when you had your big scissors in there?
No, that was a different time. I did take scissors onto a flight once, or like they were in my hand luggage, and they were like, "You can't take these," and I was like,
"Oh, sorry."
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, cut my labels off. Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they scan it out of your sight, and then the hand luggage gets scanned when you're
So
there,
my point is, they've already scanned on the London side. They've already scanned our bags and not seen anything. Yeah. So what are you hoping to find?
Gosh. What an experience. Anyway, US border control, quite scary.
I don't like to admit it's scary because I don't like them to have that power trip of being like, yeah, I'm scary. Because I'm like, you're not scary. You're just
apparently trained to intimidate.
Well, it didn't work. I wasn't intimidated. I was a bit nervous, obviously, because I didn't want to get like denied entry because this trip's really important. Yeah. But then I was like, actually, there's no need to be nervous because there's nothing to hide. Yeah. So it's like, you can ask me any question, I'll give you an honest answer because there's, you can search through everything. I'm not bothered.
Not bothered.
You can touch my underwear if you can sniff my underwear if you like.
Sniff it.
If that's what you really wanted, I'd love to like patronize them like that as well.
Oh my gosh. If you really want to take my underwear,
you should have said that. That was so good. If this is all about touching my underwear, then you can go ahead.
If that's how you get off, like, look, yes, those are my thongs. Like, do you know what? If you let me go, you can have them.
You can have them
for free. Usually I would charge $500 a pair.
Exactly.
Gosh. And for dirty, thousands.
Exactly.
Okay, anyway, enough. Right.
Well, we're here anyway. We made it. They didn't find anything. They were just being idiots.
Yeah, and me being like, let's get the story straight was more just to do with like, are we working or are we just here for fun? Like, it was the kind of, are we vlogging? Are we telling them about our YouTube? Anyway, what a palaver.
Such a palaver.
Can't wait for them to like not detain us, do this again in the future, find this video and be like, we've just watched the whole story about what happened to you in Philadelphia.
We know these two.
We know
these two. They sound suspicious, but they're not. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the story time.
We love a story time. If you want any otother story times from stuff that's happened, then let us know. We'll supply it.
Yeah, we will.
And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. We've also got memberships.
We'll tell them next time we're story suppliers.
Story suppliers.
We're suppliers. They'll be like, what kind of suppliers?
Stories and lyrics and bars.
Spitting bars.
Spitting bars for a living. Okay,
subscribe.
Subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.